Hello Suikoden fans of old and new. To celebrate the release of Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remasters, which is something that I've been waiting over half my life for, we are looking into 10 things you should know before playing these great games. This video has some valuable information for those both new to the series and those returning after many years. But before we get into the list, I'd just like to draw some attention to the Suikoden Day event. This event runs for 11 days between March 6 and 16 and is a celebration filled with events, discussions, competitions and more, all relating to this amazing series. Some of these include cosplay, fan art and fanfiction competitions, quizzes and a shop for fan-made Suikoden merch. There could not be a better time to get involved and share our love for this series. If you're interested in taking a look, head over to the social media pages through the links below. And if you got something out of this video, it would help me out a lot to hit that like button and sub for more JRPG and Suikoden content coming soon. You could also further support the channel by hitting that super thanks or becoming a member of the channel. And I would love to know how you're feeling about these remasters right about now. Are you as excited as I am? Are you new to the series? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, let's get into the 10 things you should know before playing the Suikoden Remasters. To start things off, here's an overview of the new additions to the remaster. Aside from the obvious visual enhancements and portrait redesigns, there's quite a number of alterations and new additions to enhance the gameplay. These include a conversation log, auto battle, and an option to speed up battles. The one I'm looking the most forward to, however, is the new difficulty modes. I've been playing these games for 25 years now, and I know all the ins and outs. I feel that facing stronger enemies will reunite the satisfaction of battle that I first had all those years ago. Oh, and a hard Luca Blight. Yeah, I'm scared. Now, something interesting that has been taken away from the original PS1 versions is the glitches, and for you longtime fans, you'll know what I'm getting at. In the original Suikoden 2, you could actually push through these closed doors at the Moose Matilda border. This allowed you to access the Matilda area far earlier than you should have been able to. As a result of this, you could recruit Humphrey and Futch before you were meant to. This time around, that barrier will not be movable, meaning that we'll have to wait to recruit the young Dragon Knight and his silent swordsman companion. Over the years, I've seen many people ask where the best place to start is, as the release order does not place them chronologically on the Suikoden timeline. Simple answer to this, you should play them in the order of release, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. Now, while Suikoden 2 is widely considered to be the best in the series, which is something that I absolutely agree with, I highly suggest you play Suikoden 1 first. The reason being, we're not savages. We wouldn't eat our main meal before our appetizer, right? Without spoiling anything, Suikoden 1 sets the tone for Suikoden 2 perfectly. These two games are set only a few years apart in neighbouring locations, and many of the characters from Suikoden 1 can also be recruited in Suikoden 2. Going into Suikoden 2 with the extra knowledge about the world, the characters and the lore will greatly enhance the experience. Another reason why you want to complete Suikoden 1 first is for its carryover data. If you meet certain requirements in the first game and import its data at the start of Suikoden 2, you'll be able to recruit the protagonist of the first game, Ter, and use him as a playable party member. This is not a requirement to get the best ending in Suikoden 2, but it is bloody awesome to be able to fight with both heroes in the same party. There's also a bonus recipe that you'll get when you recruit Ter, which is a nice little touch. On a lesser scale, some returning characters will also carry over certain equipment, and depending on the levels of certain characters at the end of Suikoden 1, they will join up with you at a higher level. One of my favourite things about the Suikoden series is the amount of characters that you can recruit. Both of these games have over 100 characters to recruit, and a large proportion of these can fight in your party. It is important to know that Suikoden is mechanically designed to encourage you to experiment. Mixing and matching characters and playing around with different party compositions is a lot of fun and made easy by the way that the characters level up. It only takes a few fights for characters at a low level to catch up with the rest of the party, and this is made even easier since the fights are naturally really quick and now have a speed up option. Long story short, play around as much as you want. If you recruit a character that interests you, throw them in your party and see how they go. Unless it's Tutor. Don't use Tutor. Tutor's useless. With so many characters that can be recruited, you should also know that most of them will not join up automatically. You'll have to go out hunting for them. Fortunately, most can be recruited at any time, but some, they require you to recruit them at a certain point in the story. To be completely honest, it is very likely that during your first playthrough, you will miss out on some if you don't follow a guide. But to experience these games for all that they are, I suggest playing the games blind to start with, then use a guide on your second playthrough. These games are so good and have such high replay value that you'll probably want that second playthrough anyway. And while on the topic, there is a detective character in Suikoden 2 named Richmond. He will provide you with hints on how to recruit these characters. If you're new to the series, you and Richmond will soon become very good friends. The next thing that you should know is that Suikoden 1 and 2 have multiple endings. The best ending in each game requires you to recruit all 108 characters, and if you make one little mistake or recruit someone a little too late, then the best ending will be unobtainable. It can be pretty easy to mess up too, as even after all of these years, I still occasionally forget to do something. But is it even worth getting the best ending? Personally, I rank the best ending of Suikoden 2 as one of the best moments in video gaming. It is just so powerful and emotional, and just talking about it is pumping me up to experience it all over again in the remasters. There's also some bonus endings that can be activated by making certain choices at different points in the game, and these are probably worth viewing on YouTube once you finish the game just for your amusement. Now, aside from the missable characters and time recruitments required to get the best endings, there are other reasons that you should always save and keep multiple play files. Firstly is that there's actually permadeath during the massive war battles. In Suikoden 1's wars, you may just be unlucky if your troops take a lot of damage. In Suikoden 2, if a character is in a unit that has been defeated, there is a chance that they will be killed. The good news is that the dialogue during the war will clearly state if a character has died, so it's definitely worth paying careful attention to what is said and then loading your previous save if they are killed. With all of that said, this doesn't happen very frequently, and I've had entire playthroughs with no deaths at all. It's just something you should look out for. Next up, we have a somewhat unique quest from Suikoden 2, as in order to complete it, you'll need to reach a number of different checkpoints and reach a certain location within 20 hours. This quest provides you with some backstory for Clive, but has no bearing on the 108 stars that you can recruit or any of the endings. While the scenes that you witness are really cool, the fact is that you will sacrifice so much in order to get where you need to be within the time limit, and this sacrifice is absolutely not worth it, especially on your first playthrough. The reason that I'm mentioning this is that I've come across some gamers over the years who are first time Suikoden 2 players using a guide hoping to achieve everything on a single playthrough. While this certainly is possible, in my opinion, it is not worth it. Suikoden 2 is such a special game, and it would be a crime to miss out on so much just to view a few minutes of dialogue and to reach that completionist status. Personally, I've never actually completed this quest in-game because I would rather self-pace, but I have watched it on YouTube many times, and I suggest that you do the same. These final two are gameplay related tips to give you the extra edge very early in the game. If you don't want any actual gameplay assistance, then feel free to turn the video off now and enjoy the Suikoden experience for yourself. If you pre-ordered the remasters early, you'll get a stash of potch plus the fortune and prosperity runes. The fortune rune doubles your experience, while the prosperity rune doubles your potch at the end of battle. In Suikoden 1, you can actually obtain one of these runes at the very beginning of the game. You'll receive the fortune rune if you trek out alone, or the prosperity rune if you take Ted with you. You'll need to travel through Mount Tigerwolf and then to the village of Sarade and talk to an old man. This will require some early leveling and preparation, but it is a nice little bonus to start the game with. I'll leave a link to further information regarding these quests in the details below. And here's a little tip for Suikoden 2 that allows you to obtain the double beat rune, which allows your character to attack twice. This is one of the best runes in the game and is something that I always do early in my Suikoden 2 playthroughs. You can obtain this rune early by fighting cut rabbits in North Sparrow Pass. When you defeat them, they have a 2% chance to drop one of these runes. This may seem low, but considering the speed up options in the remaster, you'll probably get one in under 20 minutes. And you know, if you wanted to create an even more powerful party, you could get even more of them, which is something I'm definitely going to do during my hard playthrough. The final thing that you should know before playing the remasters will give you an early edge in Suikoden 2 involving our favourite squirrel party member, Muku Muku. Normally, you would recruit him later in the game in the Green Hill area. However, it's actually possible to recruit him much earlier, well before you even have a HQ. When you're in your hometown of Cairo, Muku Muku will join up if you examine the large tree behind Genkaku's dojo 3 times prior to meeting Nanami. Having an extra party member so early is incredibly useful for the boss fight that follows, and it may very well be a requirement if you want to win on the brand new hard mode. It has been over 25 years since Suikoden 2 was released, and I still can't believe we're actually getting brand new remasters of what is perhaps my favourite series of all time. If you're familiar with the series, then I know you share my excitement for them, but if you're about to check them out for the first time, wowee, you're in for a ride. I also hope you found something useful in the video. If you did, let me know about it. I'd also love to know how you're feeling about the remasters, so leave a message in the comments below if you can. This was Hellfire RPGs, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, it would help me out a lot to hit that like button and sub for more JRPG and Suikoden content coming soon. And also, go check out that Suikoden Day event. See you next time.